Hey everybody, it's Sal with Gun Barrel Coffee. We are live. I think we're live. Does that say live on there? Where's that thing on the red?
I think it says accept.
Oh, whatever that was, it's gone now. But hey, episode 131. We got the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association. I was gonna say club, but not really a club.
It's not a club.
But why don't you guys introduce yourself? What you guys do? And
I'm Corey Barnett. I'm the chapter commander for 24-2.
I'm Sean Carney. I'm the chapter secretary for 24-2.
As you see, we got one that is a Marine, one as Army. Nobody Air Force or
No.
Any Space Force people yet?
No,
No,
yet.
none of those either.
No.
Same here. We don't have any Space Force people. So what do you guys do? What's your mission?
So the mission of the CVMA is veterans helping veterans. And there's multiple ways we can do that, right? So we help veterans in need.
Mm-hmm.
And ways we can help them in need are if a veteran needs help with utility bills. So we figure out what the bills are for that individual. They meet the criteria, and then us as the chapter will take a vote, and then we will pay the utility bills. We do ramps, donate wheelchairs. We do fundraising. Last year we raised funds for 2023 Harley Road Glide?
Oh, yeah, Road
Glide special. So we took after everything was said and done, we were able to take the profits from that and donate $10,000 to Canine for Veterans for a service dog for a veteran in need.
Yeah. So how does a veteran in need get a hold of you guys? What do they do? I mean, do they have to join the association? Do they just contact somebody or
kind of a combination? They can join the organization, or we've had a lot of people that reach out saying, hey, I've got a friend in need or a family member that needs assistance, or in some cases it might even be a different chapter in another state that says, hey, I've got this relative is a veteran that lives in this city. Can you guys provide assistance? Because you're closer, and we step in that way too.
And how big is the association? I mean,
so we're nationwide, right? Number wise, I couldn't even begin to tell you in the thousands. Specifically number wise, I don't know offhand. It continues to grow and grow every day.
Yeah. So if you do decide to join, what's the procedure to joining the association?
So we have different memberships, right? So we have your full member, which is a combat military service member, or we have our support members, which are members who were in active duty who did not support in a combat zone. So to be a full member, you would have had to deploy to a combat zone, have a combat action ribbon, combat action badge, sea service deployment, things like that. And then for the for the support members, it would if they just have to meet the criteria, honorable discharge, the 8214, and then where we have to see where we are full member wise, because there has to be a certain percentage to match for your chapter.
Okay.
And you have to have a motorcycle.
Yeah, you have to have a motorcycle, obviously, of 500 cc's or greater.
500 cc's or greater. Could it be, let's just say, somebody with a Can-Am?
Yeah, well, we have somebody
that has we have somebody that has a Spider, I think it is.
Yep.
A little 3-wheel, 2 at the back, 1 in the front.
Yeah. One of those. Because, I mean, I'm probably going that direction.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
I'm getting, I had my 96. Brian's probably going to buy that one off of me, but it's something a little bit, take the wife and kids and, throw them on the back and take them for rides, because kids are now like, hey, I want to ride. I'm like, and plus the 96 is just, it's a nice bike, but it's it rumbles. I mean, you'll get some shaking out of that one.
Yeah, sure.
But what else? I mean, so how did this all started? How did the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association start? What's the story behind it?
So it's the original 10, right?
Yep.
Down in Kentucky. So it was just 10 veterans who got together who like to ride motorcycles, right? That's the one thing that we all like to do is get out there and ride motorcycles. And they found out that, their services as veterans could help other veterans. And then more and more veterans heard about it, and it just continued to grow and grow and grow into what it is today.
All right. Are there any 1%ers?
We do not have 1%ers now.
All right.
We are not an MC. We are just an association.
I'm just asking questions. Maybe people out there would want to know.
Yep.
Jay says, great organization.
Thank you, Jay.
Jay.
Yeah, thank you.
So is there an association? Like how many are in Illinois?
Currently, we have 8 chapters and 1 detachment chapter in Illinois, and we're getting ready to have a second detachment chapter as well.
Okay. So what is the difference? What's the detachment chapter?
So it's those individuals that live in just a little bit of a further distance that still want to be a part of the main mother chapter. So it just puts them a little bit closer to home, and then they can network in their local area, and
then bring people into that. And once they become a certain size, then they become a chapter, or
they have the opportunity, yes, to become a chapter.
All right. So how long have you guys been in the club? I mean,
I joined the CVMA in 2019, I believe it was.
I think I joined in 2017.
2017?
Yeah.
All right. And as I said, nationwide there's a couple thousand. It's growing every day. These guys, I mean, what is the best way to somebody to contact you guys to find out which chapter is closest to them?
So if they want to become a member, they can go to the combatveterans.org, I believe it is. And then from there, they would want to request the membership. And then that will put them in contact with the state rep, who will then contact to see where they're located at, contact the chapter commander. And then we invite, anybody to come to any of our meetings. So we have monthly meetings. Ours for 24/2 is held in Montgomery.
Okay.
So we meet at the VFW there, and we just kind of want that individual to get a feel of who we are and what we're about, and see if we're the right association for them. Obviously, then it allows us to get to know that individual as well, and make sure that they're a good fit, to come in. And then from there, just submitting insurance, registration, driver's license, and a copy of your DD-214.
All right. So the other thing is there's Rolling Thunder, right? And then there's you guys. Is there a difference between the two? Can somebody from Rolling Thunder join yours and vice versa? Or no, you can't, you can only do one or the other?
No. So
just asking.
There's it's been kind of conflict on like a dual patch system. So obviously if it's a 1%er club, right? The CVMA does not allow for that dual patch. But if say Rolling Thunder does allow for a dual patch, and it's a veteran organization, then the CVMA will also allow for that as well, as long as that member is able to wear their CVMA patch on the back.
Right.
So the difference is Rolling Thunder, I believe, is open for all service members, right? Not just strictly combat service related. Like I said before, we have a certain percentage of our members who are support members who didn't experience that the combat and overseas deployments.
Right.
So where Rolling Thunder, it's kind of like the American Legion, to where it's open
to everybody, right? And you guys are more like the VFW, of the motorcycle world.
Correct.
Makes sense. Okay. So what was your job in the Marine Corps?
I was infantry.
Okay. 0311.
0311. I served from 2004 till January 2013.
Okay. And you were deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan? 2
deployments to Iraq, 1 to Afghanistan. Yes.
All right. And how about yourself?
Well, I started off as a 19 Delta, a Cav Scout, and went to Fort Hood, Texas. Was there for 2 years. Got out of active duty, went in the National Guard, and then had multiple MOSs after that. My last assignment, I had a MOS immaterial. It's a 00 Zulu. So it's a command sergeant major. You don't have to have a set MOS. So
because if you're a command sergeant major, you just know everything.
That's right. Yep, you're expert.
Yeah.
especially if someone's walking on the grass.
Yeah, that's
a common joke. But.
It is, but there are some sergeant majors that be looking out for that.
Yep.
I still remember in Korea there was this one guy he did something, fucked up his hand, and he was outside in the rain on a swivel chair with wheels, cutting grass with his left hand with scissors. That was, I guess, the other one was too, separating male rocks from female rocks. That was another thing.
And I tried not to be that guy.
Yeah, but it's always kind of funny when you see that happening. You're like, yeah. So what? See, Jay says he knows a lot of them out because he lives out in New Jersey.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. We have a few of them that come in around May time. We have our Middle Eastern Conflict Wall rally.
Where is that at?
That's down in Marseilles. So if anybody is like in the local area, and it's kind of like the Vietnam Wall in DC, but it's strictly for Middle East conflicts. So they update the wall every June. It's got every name of everybody, brothers and sisters who have passed overseas. So from the 70s up until current, and it's truly like an amazing sight to see. Like no matter how many times I go down there, it's just touching. Like,
I had a lady from down there call me up about that event. It's in June or July, right?
That's the Rolling Thunder one. We do a separate one for just the CBA Combat members. Veteran Motorcycle Association.
Okay.
The last 2 years, we've had like over 26 states or 24 states represented, and
I believe during the COVID timeframe of 2020, we have 40 states. We had 553 members show from all over. I think our furthest came from Massachusetts.
Yeah, they were coming from all over.
Yeah. Is there any like international yet, like Canada or anybody like that? Because
so we do have Oconus like locations. We have some in Germany and Hawaii, and like we're just globally all around.
Yeah, it's like not comparing it, but combat veterans want to find a group of people that they can associate with, right?
Yeah.
You get around, you can sit there and BS with everybody, go on a long ride with and what do you feel when you get to hang out with everybody or be with everybody that had almost the same experience?
So for me, it's like I think it's that brotherhood, So I don't really talk to anybody about my deployments, but it's easier to talk to somebody like Sean over here. Or some of the other members who've actually experienced the same that I've had, or going through the same troubles that I'm going through.
Right.
Or like at any time, I could pick up the phone and he's going to answer. If I tell him I need to be at my house, he's going to pick up everybody and they're going to be there.
Right.
So it's just I think that sense of that brotherhood, just like we had when we were in the military. Right. It's just those individuals that have experienced the same. Whether Sean did 20 years and I only did 8 years. It's just that camaraderie that we have with each other.
Right, the brotherhood and the sisterhood. You said females can join, or
that's correct. Yeah, we have a few females for our chapter. We have one female. She's a support member, and then there's a few more in the state. But then we also have auxiliary members, which are the spouses.
Right. So once one spouse joins, the other one kind of was a role of, let's say, the wives, or
no, they just have to be willing. It's just up to them, their preference, if they would want to become an auxiliary member for the CVMA.
Okay. And there's no, because if your wife, whatever, husband, whoever, I'm just saying, these days, who knows what, but I don't give a shit. So like, will the wives talk to each other?
Oh yeah, they have a really good connection. There's like an auxiliary state rep, so they get together and they do a lot of fundraising. And when we do fundraising or events, they'll do the 50-50s, and they control our scholarship fund. So we choose one individual and we donate to their scholarship for college. And I think Sean,
my daughter's received it. Yeah, 1 year.
1 year. Yep.
Anything you guys would like to put in? Talk about other stuff. I mean, we're open to anything.
The only thing I was going to say about the military is a small world. There's not, and one of the wall rides we had, we get national participation from the CVMA brothers, and I ran into, without even knowing it, my drill sergeant from basic training and from Fort Knox in 1987. I'm talking to him, and I didn't recognize him, obviously, because we both changed quite a bit since then. But it actually was my drill sergeant from basic training. He drove all the way up from Florida to participate in our ride at the wall. So pretty cool.
Now, have you found any people you served with while being a member?
So I just had one individual who I deployed with twice. He just became a full member down in Florida. And then during our state meeting last year, somebody seen one 1st Marine Division patch on my back, and hey, I was 1-7, no, I was 2-7. Well, I was 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines also, and come to find out, we knew a lot of the same people, and him and I had deployed 3 times together. Probably ran into him on the base multiple times. Yeah, just small world.
Yeah, there was when I was stationed in Korea at Camp Hovey, I remember, we would go out and go to town and, go drink and stuff like that, whatever we do at that time. And I still remember this guy who's wearing this jacket that had, like a jacket with 2nd ID patch and all that stuff, and come back home, get out, go to college. And all of a sudden I ran into this guy who's wearing that exact same jacket. I go, were you in Korea? He goes, yeah. I go, at Camp Hovey, Casey? He's like, yeah, I was. I'm like, I remember you from that jacket, because it was so unusual for somebody to be wearing a 2nd ID jacket. And, it was just the weirdest thing, me and him at Wabansi. And I'm like, I just remember him. I never talked to him, but I remembered him because he just had that jacket on. Right? Sure. It was like so unusual. But I really haven't ran into too many people from active duty. I find them online. A lot of we still with the 1244th I was with, we have like a reunion. Try to do a reunion every year, which is nice because for the longest time I never really went to do anything and never really wanted to talk to a lot of people, unless they were other veterans from Iraq or Afghanistan. And then that was nice about this business is I get all different types of veterans that come in, combat, non-combat, from Korean War veterans to a couple World War II, not very many anymore, but
sure.
And Vietnam. And, there was a couple Vietnam guys that used to come in here. One passed away, but he was funny as hell. And the stories he would say, and, he would come in and his wife would come in a week later because they had he'd like the lighter coffee. She liked the darker stuff. And so we always had a good time, but then he passed away from, cancer from being over there and stuff like that. And my buddy's Brian, his dad was a Vietnam veteran, passed away, God, now 8 years. Same thing from Agent Orange and stuff like that. And I know we have our own things because of the burn pits and all that crap like that. But have the VA been taking good care of you guys?
I think the VA is separate, but we collectively get together and kind of help each other out with that kind of stuff to make sure people are getting
the proper care.
What they need, and if they need help, PTSD and things like that.
Yeah, we got one of our members. He's also a VSO.
Okay.
So if you need the help with the claim, he's like, hey man, just give me a call and I'm right there. This is what I do for a living.
And
so he works strictly with the VA, and so it's always good to have somebody in our network.
Yep, that's always good. Crap. I'm trying to read what he's saying.
He said that they did a funeral escort. We've done that as well.
Yep.
We escort fallen members. And there was one veteran that was going to turn 100, and we were going to ride over to the old person's home to see him. Unfortunately, he didn't make it to his 100th birthday. We were all set up to go, but he passed away 2 days before.
Yeah.
So he was a World War II vet.
So, so there, what they call the 20-year war, because that's Afghanistan. Iraq was 12, 15 years. are you still finding a lot of people from that time? Like, you'll be out someplace and like they'll see you wearing a patch and want to come up and talk to you and find out more about your organization just by talking to you. And
yeah, I mean, that for us, I think that's just about everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Somebody will come up, even non-service member. Hey, we just want to thank you guys for your service. Buy you a round of beers, or want to buy your lunch, or just get to know us. Then we get the other service members who also ride, and they want to know about the organization because that's something that they're looking for as well.
Yeah.
And also when we're out doing any kind of charity events, we're usually wearing our vests to represent. I know when we were selling raffle tickets for the motorcycle, we partnered with Windy City Motorcycle Group. They have all the major Harley dealers in the Chicagoland area, and we'd be at their dealerships selling tickets for our fundraiser, and got a lot of interest that way as well. People would come up, want to donate for a veterans cause, and then also find out more about our organization.
I mean, there was people that didn't even want a ticket; they just wanted to donate.
Right. So do both of you belong to the VFWs, American Legion, both, and just?
Yeah, I'm in both.
Yeah.
Life member of the VFW.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because it's like, if you can't be with one group, you can always be with another group, and it's just nice how we can all kind of commonly share stories, right? There's stuff that you can say to a brother that you don't say to your spouse, or even your kids, right? It's just stuff that happens. I keep in touch with one good buddy, Joe. He helps at the shop sometimes. They'll just send me something, and, he's like, "Hey, fuck face." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?" I'm like, "Joe, I'm on speaker, so be careful." Once in a great while. But Warsaw Patriot. It's Brian. Hey guys. What the heck is it? Does the organization also help a lot of the blue line members, like our sheriffs or local police officers?
We have the ability to, but typically we're helping veterans. That's kind of the basis of this organization.
So there are law enforcement groups out there. Was the what not? I just had it on the tip of my tongue because they're having an event today. I have to look it up real quick.
So typically we don't.
They got their groups as well.
Yeah, unless they're part of your group and are a
there could be a policeman and a
fireman,
and a combat vet, and they're in our or we hear about them.
Yeah,
we'll help them out. Yes.
What's the next event you got coming up? I mean, what can people do? I mean, you got an event coming up anytime soon, or
the only event we have right now scheduled is for CVMA members. It's just our own little get together at the wall.
Yeah.
But like I said, if anybody is interested, that's a veteran that wants to come out and see what we're about, they're always welcome to come to a meeting. We usually post if they like our Facebook page, they can see some of our events that are going on.
Right. So if they want to find your chapter, it's chapter 24-2.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. Any last words?
I do have
some. Go ahead.
I was the guest speaker at the wall ride a couple years ago. It was very emotional, but I spoke about my time primarily when I was in Afghanistan, and had several soldiers that came, soldiers and airmen, and actually just service members came up to me after the speech and said how they kind of forgot about certain, I was naming bases and naming, locations and things, and got a bunch of soldiers come talk to me about it and stuff. So it was kind of cool to be able to just kind of come back and they were there at the same time, or they were there right after me or whatever. But, they were like, man, I never thought about that place in X number of years. So it was kind of cool to be kind of bringing that back to them, and then having that link with them was cool. So,
yeah. So for the wall, is that just strictly just members only when you go to the wall? So
that's kind of our time, together.
Just wanted it, in case people were asking about it.
Yeah. We use that time to bond, but we also raise money as well for veterans causes. And then just also to be clear, we keep zero money. I mean, all the money we raise goes right to charity events. Yeah. So not only do we donate $10,000 last year to Canine for Vets, which is a veteran service dog organization. You also raise money for them, but we gave money to Oscar Mike, which is a local Chicagoland veteran support organization, and we gave money to the
LaSalle Veterans Home.
The LaSalle Veterans Home. So we're constantly looking for veterans organizations that we can help out that also help out veterans.
Yeah, and they don't have to be strictly here in Illinois, right? So it could be just be anywhere. So if anybody out there knows a veteran organization that needs help, feel free to reach out to us. CVMA242.com. If you want to be a member or see what we're about, just go on there. And then if you're not in the Northern Illinois, we can point you in the direction of where your local area is.
Yeah.
Local chapter.
So with that, I want to thank you guys for being on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you to the makeup people back there. I'm kidding. There's none. So, hey, thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, thanks, Sal.
Thank you.
Hey, I just want to leave you with something before we go.
All right.
Got something you can display here at your store.
All right.
It's one of the combat veterans coins. It's got the skull and the spade in it, and then it's also got the POW MIA on the back. But thank you for having us, man. Appreciate it.
This guy's hands is so big, I cannot wrap my hands around it. He just towers over my hand. So
yeah. Well, anyhow, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't forget, we're at real quick. St. Charles at the flea market this weekend. Brian's down there right now. I'll be there with him tomorrow. And the bourbon coffee will be coming out in about 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll get that up so you can pre-order it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Keep your head on a swivel.